us tonight. My name is Skylar. This is Stone, the legend, the 3 cornrows man himself. Check it out. If only we could zoom it up for you, but 3 cornrows. We're excited. But here's the thing. Tonight's going to be a little different. We're continuing our series called Change My Mind. And we're excited because we're having conversations. It's not just someone preaching or talking or telling us what to think. And so tonight's message is going to be very different. I had an interview scheduled with a friend of mine about racism and different things. And then Mark and Mitch, our lead and executive pastor, interviewed 4 different leaders in our church. And so that's actually going to be our message tonight. We're going to watch that together. And then after all this is over, we're going to go to a Zoom call. But first, we want to do some Would You Rathers. We were shocked last week. You guys were so involved and so in the chats about the Would You Rathers that we thought we would just do a couple right now. So Stone's going to ask me one, but he's not going to be just asking me. He's going to ask you. So I want you to put it in the chat. So what do you got?
All right. Would you rather have 3 feet or 3 hands?
I'd rather have 3 hands. I don't even have to think about it. 3 feet, that's like I get to buy 2 pairs of shoes. If you have 3 hands, I've been in so many situations where I wish I had another hand.
But if you put wheels on your feet, it would be like a tricycle. You could ride around everywhere.
It would be something. All right, so for the viewers at home and for Stone, you got to think about this one, though.
Okay.
Would you rather fart confetti several times a day or vomit once a day, every day, the rest of your life?
Oh, ease the confetti for sure.
Why not?
I hate throwing up. It is the absolute worst. And I feel like, if you're farting confetti, it's fun. Like, everyone's going to be like, yo, the confetti again.
Tell us in the chats, would you rather fart confetti several times a day or throw up once a day? Do one more, I'll do one more, then we'll continue on.
All right, would you rather be able, I think I know your answer to this already, but would you rather only be able to whisper or only be able to yell?
Yell! I love yelling! Yelling's my favorite thing.
It's true.
Dude.
I can attest.
Shout out to Kaylee Gerleski, one of my old interns. She always told me I did not have the capability of whispering, which isn't true. It is not true. Shut up, Kaylee. Just kidding. But put in the chat, which one would you rather do? Which one would you rather not be able to do? Don't answer for your kids, answer for yourself. And this one, you got to think about it. And I'm interested in your answer, and honestly in your answer. Here's the would you rather. Would you rather be able to play every instrument known to man, or be able to speak every language in the world?
Ooh.
Play every instrument known to man, or play every instrument in the world?
I think I would like to play every instrument because music is a universal language. Therefore, you don't need to know their languages. And I feel like that's not true. I was going to say languages are easier to learn than instruments, but that's probably not true.
I would choose the Jesus answer. I would choose every language so I can share the gospel in all languages, Stone.
There you go.
Hashtag Jesus Juke. Eat it, son.
You got me there.
All right, so we're going to move on to our next game. Our next game is when you need your dozen donuts, because Stone is going to go do an outfit change. He's going to get dressed and get ready to eat a dozen donuts. So get your donuts ready. Let's go. Hey, we're so glad you're here. We've been talking about all sorts of things, and we posted earlier this week that you need to get a dozen donuts for tonight, because here's what we're going to do. This is Stone. Stone, how old are you?
I'm 19.
He's 19. He has cornrows. So here's the thing. 19-year-old people, young people, teenage people, this gen people, you guys can eat anything. And so Stone is going to see how many of a dozen donuts he can get. He's going to go from the right side and go all the way around. So get your donuts out. And how do you feel right now?
I don't know how to feel. I'm anticipating extraordinary regret.
So on a scale of 0 being like there's going to be 0 donuts left, and 12 being like there's 12 donuts left, how do you feel like you're going to do?
I think I can probably get almost half.
And we did a little bit of math, just so you know. 60 seconds divided by 12 donuts is 5 seconds a donut. I think, and you got water, so you can go ahead and open up the waters right now.
Oh boy. I'm kind of terrified, if I'm being honest.
I would be terrified. So here's the deal. Get your donuts out. and we're gonna start it. All right, I'm gonna count you down, and when the minute's over, you're done. Ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go. So the hope is you guys are doing this at home. And so he's already taken 3 bites of one donut. He's already failing. You just need to inhale it, son.
It's harder than I
Don't
thought.
talk, you need to eat. It's just like the dentist's office when they're working on your mouth and they're talking to you. Bad practices, dentists. So here's the deal. He's eating. He's still on the first donut. 20 seconds in, folks. You hear that? Your dog just freaked out a little bit. This one has sprinkles.
Oh. This is harder than I thought.
You have less than 30 seconds left. He said he'd eat about half of them. He's about halfway through the second donut, y'all. This is how painful it is. 15, 13. He's got less than 10 seconds left. He can't see the countdown timer, apparently. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. He's done. How many donuts did you eat? 2. Put in the comments how many donuts you ate just now, and then we'll go on to our next game.
Hey, my name's Andrew, and I'm about to out-eat Shane in a donut-eating contest.
Wrong! I've never been more sure about anything in my life that I'm a faster eater than you.
You may be faster, but I have a better pace.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna throw the donut on the floor? And what do you mean? Pace. All right.
You got to find out.
Okay, who's gonna count us down?
Can I count us down?
Yeah.
3. No, I'll start at a higher number. That's why I just, I'm just kidding. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh. What are you doing?
I'm eating this at a good pace. A nice, natural, healthy pace. Thoroughly chewing, so it's better for your metabolism.
Yeah, just keep talking, Sonny.
You're shaking right now. You're so nervous about this. Or you've had too much coffee.
Just fierce. Fierce competitor. I'll have 2.
Where'd you get that donut?
The world will never know. There's a lot of donuts on now.
Your mouth has to be clear. Alright. Thanks for the donut, Skyler. Thanks for the entertainment, Shane.
You're not done yet. It's not clear. You sit down. Not clear. Choking on one donut already?
Clearing out the sugar. I don't know what it was, but
Are you clear? What's up? Get the camera to close up on that. I don't believe him.
We're glad you guys are here. We're glad Stone is here. What you didn't see is that Stone just threw up a little bit.
I only had 2 donuts. I think the speed really plays a role in health things.
If you had more than 2 donuts, let us know. We posted it, we promoted it, and I hope you had donuts at home, and I hope you had more than 2. If you did, comment in the chat how many donuts you ate.
Probably more than 2.
Or maybe it's a lot harder than we think, and it was just 2.
Maybe I'm actually really good at that.
Yeah, maybe you guys can't even finish 1. Who knows? But hey, as we continue on today, we are going to talk about something. What's a habit you've developed in this season?
Something I've developed is not doing anything. I just have so much free time on my hands. I should probably get a job, but you know, my current habit is just sitting on the couch, scrolling through TikTok,
Yep.
doing nothing.
Nothing. Here's the thing. I'm not a TV guy. I'm not a movie person. But I'm ashamed of how much movies and how much TV I've been watching. Like, there is definitely an indentation in my couch now of existence of me.
Yeah.
And it's pretty bad. And when the kids go to bed at night, I stay up even later and watch television with my wife. But here's the thing. One thing I have developed, and they do not sponsor us, is playing Trivia Crack. And if you've ever played it, it's just an app on your phone where it's just a bunch of trivia. And so I thought it'd be hilarious if Stone would go against you, the viewer, whether you're a parent, you're a teacher, you're a student. And so from every one of these categories, we're going to ask sort of one question. So it's going to be 6 questions. We're not going to go lightning fast, but we want to understand what you're thinking. It's not about speed, but I do want to see who gets it, you or Stone. And so we are just going to pick a random question. In what novel is Holden Caulfield the main character?
See, I graduated high school, I go to college, but one thing I don't do is read a lot of books.
Which he's changing. He's not promoting don't read. He's
Exactly.
just saying.
Reading is so good for you. You should read all the time. I think I have read Catcher in the Rye. Read it, aka Spark Notes. But I have no idea on this one. I'm going to guess Deliverance.
It was Catcher in the Rye.
Oh,
man.
boy.
I personally have never read Catcher in the Rye. It was never in the canon of must-read books in Illinois. Don't know why. Not saying I don't like it, just saying I've never read it. So we're going to go on to a different category, all right?
Oh, boy.
And this category is entertainment. What is the name of Napoleon Dynamite's brother?
Kip, bro, this is one of my favorite movies. I love Napoleon Dynamite so much. It's hilarious. Most quotable movie I've ever seen.
I was forced, and hear that word, forced, to watch Napoleon Dynamite in 8th grade, Mr. Mahaffey's class. He was one of my football coaches. It was life skills. So literally, life skills. My mom sent me to school to learn life skills, and I was forced to watch Napoleon Dynamite. Super hated it.
That's how I learned my life skills.
I thought it was terrible. Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, Napoleon Dynamite.
I think Napoleon Dynamite is trash. Put it in the chat if you think it's if it's trash, or if it's incredible. The answer is trash. I think it's good. You would think so. All right.
Oh boy.
Which of the following is not an ocean? Pacific, Indian, Atlantic, Mediterranean.
It's the Mediterranean because it's the Mediterranean Sea, not the Mediterranean Ocean. I learned that.
That was too easy, so we're going to give you another one.
Oh boy.
Which state does not border California? Nevada, Arizona, Utah, Oregon. Put it in the chat. This is when it gets embarrassing. Because apparently people don't know their states or where they're located. Do you feel confident on your states?
I feel more confident than most people, most Americans. I do think I have some learning to do, though. I know where Nebraska is.
I low-key don't know where Nebraska is on the
It's
map.
right
All
in the middle.
A, B, C, or D?
All right, so I think it's Utah. Wait. Yes, I think it's Utah.
He's oh, there's people watching. I don't know. All
I
right.
didn't want to embarrass myself, but
What year was America discovered?
1462, right? Because there's the rhyme with Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue in
1492. He was even singing the song. 1492, bro.
I knew it was 14 and then a 2.
92. It goes off the tongue.
That's irrelevant.
Do you want another history one?
Uh-uh.
He's like, I don't want redemption. All right, so here we go. Don't look at the screen. This guy.
I'll just look at you guys.
All right, you're
You
good.
guys
Now
look
you can
really
look
good
at the
today.
screen.
Okay.
What is the name for the transparent covering of the front of the eye?
So here's the thing. I know things. I go to college.
Twice he said he goes to college. For anyone who doubts, Stone does go to college.
I know the eyelid is like the skin part that goes when you blink, right? So it's not that. Retina is like, it's real in there. The cornea, I believe, is like in like the corner, hence cornea, right? No, that's not true. I think cornea is the right answer. Cornea, final answer. Woo!
He was sweating it. He's looking at me like, why did you choose this question? The questions are at random. So, one more subject.
All right.
Sports.
Oh boy.
How many gold medals did Michael Phelps win in the 2008 Olympics? Michael Phelps is a swimmer.
I knew that. I know he swims. I know he does like the arm slappy thing. I don't know why swimmers do that. but it looks kind of cool. It looks like they know what they're doing.
My favorite quote of Michael Phelps is from Michael Gary Scott, and he said, imagine going back into sales. It's just like if Michael Phelps would go back to swimming and he did terrible. That's how I feel.
Okay.
So what's the answer? A, B, C, or D?
I feel like it's 8. A.
It is A.
Yes!
There you go. All right. So that's all of the things.
Woo!
So play trivia games with your family. Maybe play Trivia Crack. Challenge me. You might win.
Learn
Challenge
something.
Stone. You will beat him.
Use your brain. Learn something. It's good for you.
Yeah, just because it's summertime doesn't mean you can't think.
Exactly.
See ya. Everybody, we're in a teaching series called Change My Mind. What we're not saying is don't at me. What we're trying to do is have conversations. And if you're with us last week, we talked about a big subject that students ask about all the time. And this week, we have a big subject that people are asking about. And the subject is everything that's going on in our country and racism. And so I actually had an interview scheduled with one of my friends, and we were going to discuss. But then Mark, our lead pastor at our church, and Mitch, our executive pastor, they had a conversation with 4 different people from Stonebridge. People I respect, people that you should respect, people that I like a lot. And so what we're going to do is show you part of that interview, and then we're going to cut the interview off because it's a very long interview. But I would encourage you to watch the whole thing to hear what they have to say, listen to what they have to say, think about what they're going to say, and then just pray about it. And so let's go right on into that interview.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining today. I appreciate it very, very much. And first, in fact, I appreciate you all. I count you as friends and partners in ministry at our church. I'm grateful for that. I do a lot of talking, and that's my job. But today I want to do a lot of listening, and I need to hear from you, and I want to hear from you on this topic that's been happening in our country, not just recently, but over many, 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 many years. And so I appreciate your willingness to share with me today and with our community. And I'm just going to ask you to introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do at Stonebridge. And we're going to start with Lakonda, all right? And Lakonda, and then whoever else wants to jump in after that, just go ahead.
Perfect. My name is Lakonda McKinney. I am a volunteer at the Benson campus. I am a greeter / usher.
Very good. Tell us a little bit about your family.
Oh, my family. So my family, my immediate family lives right here in Omaha, but the rest of our family members, meaning my aunts and uncles, are in the South, deep South, Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
My mother came from Mississippi to go to college, and eventually she taught. She was a teacher, administrator. So I've been here my whole life, actually. And my son has been here as well. My husband's from Indiana. Came to Nebraska for work. We were married. I said that was the best thing that ever happened to him. Coming to Nebraska because he was able to meet me.
Right.
So he obviously is here. Our son is here as well, born here. Anything else? I can't remember what else I was supposed to talk about.
That's good.
Okay.
Sean, go ahead, jump in.
All right. Well, my name is Sean Tony. I have been at Stonebridge I guess it was Fort Street first and then Stonebridge. And I work with Lakonda at the Benson campus. I'm one of the service leaders there. So usually you see my smiling face at 9:30, now 9 o'clock, I guess, when we eventually get back there. I am also one of the elders for the church. Don't ask me how long because I lost track. So it's been a while since I've been on the elder board. Get to work side by side with Mark and Mitch and David and the rest of the elders there. A little bit about me. Married, obviously, with my lovely wife, Sherilyn. We have 3 kids, Andre, Marcus, and Alexis, and they've grown up in the church there. Most of my we're the only ones here out of my family in Omaha. The rest are pretty much scattered. They're in the South, in Arkansas, Atlanta, Los Angeles. So if I go anywhere, I usually have somebody I know somewhere around. But and we've been here, or I've been here for well over 25, almost 30 years. After I graduated high school in Arkansas, went to UNL, so go Huskers, and moved to Omaha and been here ever since. So it's a great place, and I'm proud to be a part of Stonebridge.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Charlie Weston. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, and I work in Kidman at Stonebridge, whether that be the Omaha campus, Benson campus, kind of move around a little bit. But my family is mostly in Chicago right now. My wife, Molly, is from South Dakota, and then we have 3 children, Michelle, who's 11, Barron, who's 6, and Emily, who's 1. So I'm very proud to be a part of Stonebridge. I'm very proud to be in Omaha. Been here for about, Barron is 6. We've been here 6 years. I use my son as a counter. That's about me, Charlie.
And I'm David Leday, proud born and raised Texan. Grew up there, went to college in Minnesota. I'm a school teacher. Taught in Minnesota for 13 years, and we moved here in 2006. And I think it was 2007 or that we started going to Stonebridge. So it's been 13 years. I lose count. I'm also one of the elders and on the board. And in the past, I've taught adult Bible study classes and small group leaders as well. I am married. We'll celebrate our 23rd anniversary this August. I have 4 kids. Jada is 21, finishing up at GCU in Phoenix. Julia just graduated during this pandemic, and she's going to Midland on a cheer scholarship. And then my 2 boys, Jonathan is going into his junior year, which is shocking. And Jace will be going into 8th grade. So yeah, we're never bored.
That is true. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I'm here also with Mitch Chitwood, our executive pastor, and he's kind of helping us with all this recording. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. But wanted to get your thoughts today on a few things, and appreciate you were willing to share your heart and your experiences with us. And with all the things that have been happening in our world, in our community, our state, and our nation, I just wanted to hear from you. You're my friends and partners in ministry, and I consider it a great joy to be a part of your lives and all. But I need to hear from you, and grateful that you're willing to share today. I just want to ask you, what are you feeling right now about things that's going on? And I guess I'll just start with Sean.
There's a lot of emotion, anger at the loss of not just George Floyd, but Aubrey, Mr. Aubrey, and also Breonna Taylor. Just seeing that take place, and even events prior to that. It's hard as being a Black man in this country and knowing the history. It goes back 400 years of oppression and violence. So anger is one, sadness for the families that have lost those loved ones, and then also just the fear of, I have 2 boys, and I worry not just for myself, but for them as well. So there's a lot of emotion that goes through. I think right off the bat, when I saw what happened to George Floyd, just anger
Hmm.
immediately came to the front. And it's not something that, you want to see. And watching that event occur, watching a man's life be drained from him, his pleading to the officer to let him breathe. And then I almost started crying when I heard him call out to his mother, to his deceased mother, to help him. So anger was definitely at the forefront, and then just the sadness of all the events that have occurred over the past few days as well.
What time is it?
For me, as far back as I can remember, and I've always known that from birth, there are people out there who don't like me simply because of the color of my skin. I'm talking like being 3 as far back as I remember, and you knowing this. My mother did not raise us to hate those who hate us. She always felt that even though we know that people hate us, our actions are more important. So we've always kept a low profile as it relates to any of this, because we know that this is a reality. But that didn't stop that little inkling of fear. So being 3 and being afraid. I'm beyond 3 and I still have that fear. So anytime these circumstances arise, that fear that I hold at bay, very deep in my soul, they come forth. And therefore I get these irrational thoughts like, should I move? What should I do? Do I walk this way? Or, I mean, it's just kind of irrational fear. But I'm scared, I walk a lot. And I carry mace. And I thought, man, if I carry mace, do you think they're going to think I have a gun? Well, what if someone's going to be out there trying to shoot? I mean, all this stuff goes in my head. And then I think my kid, I'm like, little Kenny, you are not wearing a black mask. You're wearing a mask, but you're not wearing a black mask. Come home, tell me where you are. My husband, you can't wear a black mask. Of course, he tells me I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. But all this fear, and the sadness. When I didn't even watch any of it. I refuse, because my first thought is that was somebody's child. So I try to keep the irrational thoughts at bay, but they come forth. And even now I have this, I don't even know how to liken it to, say there's something you're afraid of. And as long as you're not around it, you don't really think about it. And it gets in your craw, right? Well, that fear is back there, an inkling every single day. So if you can kind of liken it to that, you can kind of sort of understand what we feel. We know it's there, and as long as it's not blaring, we don't have to really feel it. But right now, we're feeling it, and I think if I had any anger, it's out the window, because you're angry so long that you become numb to it. So it's probably there, but maybe I'm numb to it, because when I see it, I'm like, yeah, well, we know nothing's going to happen. So I feel the sadness, and then I feel the fear for myself, for my son and my husband, and anyone else I know, and I don't want to hear about it. So, I'm trying to keep this short, but so my daily prayer is, dear Lord, please do not make anyone we know an instance of social injustice. I don't know if I can handle that. So it's just weird. And not weird in a crazy weird, but weird in a sad, fearful way. So that's kind of how I'm dealing with it right now.
So for me, it's a conjunction of both of their stories. But for me, I want to add on that it's actually been something that's been rejuvenating, because I have friends that don't understand what I go through. And because of not the event that took place, but the aftermath, the protesting, the looting, there's conversations that have started that will never happen because of it. Everyone is saying, hey, why are they being so destructive? They're just doing that. Oh, okay. This is my opportunity to tell you why. Let me share my story with you of how I feel on a daily basis of I'm terrified if I'm pulled over by the police officer. I'm telling my children to be quiet. I am putting my hands 10 and 2. My parents taught me something completely different than you may educate your children on when they're driving. The couple of things you talk about is don't have alcohol in your vehicle, make sure you come straight home, and make sure you do responsible things in the vehicle. For my parents, those are almost things that comes along with driving. For me, they had to educate, you have to be responsible. You can't have more than 2 people in your vehicle at a time because now you're considered to be a gang. Because of the color of your skin, you can't grab your phone and try to record yourself to protect yourself because they may think that's a gun. You have to roll the window down. You have to say please and thank you and do everything in your power. My wife has experienced it. She is Caucasian. And so for her, she had never experienced it. And the entire time the police officer had his hand on his gun while we're pulled over. And she's talking like she normally would. I'm like, shut up. You have to be quiet right now because this is a different situation. And that was her first time experiencing that. And so now we have open conversations of how are we going to educate the children to respond in those situations. And we live it every day. And so even just the last 5 days, I've had at least 10 conversations with people explaining that. I've watched people cry in front of me because they go, I'm sorry, I didn't know you do that. I mean, this is why the situation is going on, because it's bringing it to the forefront for us. Because had this gentleman died, it was in the news one day and then it was gone. But fortunately, this happens every day in America. And because individuals are like, this is an opportunity for us to bring attention to it. It may not be the way that you want it, or it may not be peaceful, but it's a disruption and it's causing conversations in our church. And it's amazing for me to have that opportunity. And I feel like it's my responsibility to be able to speak up during that time. I'll be quiet now.
So here's the thing. The interview was long, but it's really good. And I appreciate that they shared authentically what was going on and what their experiences were. And so if you want to watch the whole thing, it'll be on our YouTube channel. Check it out. But right now, we're going to go into our after party. So if you want to join us, we're just going to hang out, talk about nothing, and just hang out for a little bit. We miss you guys. We miss seeing you guys. And so we just want to hang out for 30 minutes and just see what happens. And so the password is in the comments, the meeting ID is in the comments. We'll see you soon.